Hello!
Hello!
We're here with another top 10 list, John, and...
Oh, Mia.
Oh, very good, you remembered. We're Lemon Knife.
Yep, that's us.
But today we're going to be talking about some non-music things. Well, I guess one non-music thing, which is movies.
Movies.
Our top 10 movies.
Top 10 movies. You
What's
want to go
your-
first?
Sure. What's your... Sure.
Sure.
All right, my number 10 is Birdemic Shock and Horror. This is the only intentionally bad movie on, well, I guess not intentionally bad, but awful movie on my list because it is just so effective as a comedy. Just the performances are horrible. There's the scene where they say dialogue, like they come out of a screen, man, that was a great movie, an inconvenient truth. I'm going to buy a car that's environmentally friendly. It's a movie about birds that takes about 40 minutes to introduce the birds.
And when
then
they do.
And when they do. Well, I won't spoil the bird. You have to watch the movie and then just... the sun dawns and then the birds are there. And I may have never laughed so hard at a scene in an intentional comedy as I have at the scene introducing the birds.
And remember the fantastic song of the year?
Oh yeah.
Hanging out with my family. Having ourselves a party. With the most awkward dance scene ever filmed.
Yes. And the horrible sound editing where there's two characters talking by a river and you only hear the river when one of them is speaking. Alright, I could go on all day. What's your number 10, Mia?
Let's go to an actually good one. This is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh yeah.
This is a fabulous movie, and of course I always have a weakness for movies that have anything to do with Greek myth or mythology or folklore or anything, and this one does it brilliantly. It's a Coen Brothers film, and you know, they're directorial geniuses anyway, and they turn it into kind of this...
Are there any others by them on your list?
No. I know, I'm sorry. But I love that one.
Well, that reminds me, I had a few random honorable mentions to mention. There's Burn After Reading, also by the Coen Brothers.
That one I thought about.
Sorry to Bother You, and High Fidelity, and Wet Hot American Summer.
All good choices.
Yes. Alright, my number 9 is the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Oh, good choice.
I can't not pick this, having seen it so many times growing up. Just like fantasy masterpiece. It has a good, just like great special effects, good acting, just overall good. If I was going to pick one of them, I think the Two Towers is actually my favorite because of Helm's Deep and and the Ents and such.
Oh yeah.
But all good.
That's like my number 11.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so my number 9 on the other hand, a completely different Finding Nemo. So, yep, Finding Nemo. It's a wonderful Disney Pixar film.
Something fishy about it.
And I know it's meant for kids, but I can go back and watch it and still enjoy the heck out of it. It's just the voice actors are fantastic. The animation is so charming. The story is, you know, surprisingly deep, no pun intended, for a kid's flick. And I just love Pixar. Oh my goodness, I love Pixar.
I think I saw that in the theater when I was a kid and liked it.
Oh yeah. I saw it in the theater, and I saw it so many other times with my sister as she was growing up because we had it on DVD.
Oh yeah.
So it's gonna yeah, help.
Did you ever find Nemo?
They did several times.
I guess every time you watched it.
Yup.
Spoilers, Mia.
Really?
Alright, my number 8, not the last appearance by this director, is The Departed.
Departed. Good pronunciation.
The more recent movie by Martin Scorsese, just great crime drama set in Boston. Got Mark Wahlberg, Matt Damon,
Oh no.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
You're not gonna do the entire rest of the video like this.
I'll just do the rest of The Departed like this. I'm allowed to because I'm from Massachusetts.
You're not even from Boston.
I'm not from Boston. I'm not from Saudi.
Oh no.
But yeah, just fantastic performances, great like
Oh yeah.
twisty plot. When will they find out things? When will they not find out things? Like every character is kind of in a suspense
When will they be in between finding things and not finding things?
Yep.
When will they stop worrying about finding things? When will they go on to find the next thing?
When will they find Nemo?
When will they find Nemo? When will I find
We're missing
Dory?
a clownfish.
Oh no! I want to see if Martin Scorsese directed Finding Nemo. It'd be very dark. Anyway, my number 8. You're gonna see a lot of films that affected me as a youth making the list. So this is The Kids Are All Right, which is a fabulous rockumentary about my second favorite band of all time, The Who.
That's the one you showed me, right?
That's the one, yes. So it was definitely one that struck me as a young girl in front of the television with a VHS. Wow, the VHS.
I could be like them.
You know, not that far off. I don't know.
You still don't have the fringe jacket, though.
I don't need the fringe
I
jacket.
think you need the fringe jacket.
Next, you're gonna be asking me to do the jumpsuit. Also, we're gonna do the jumpsuit, the skeleton suit.
With the fringe jacket on top.
With the fringe jacket on top. Where's the skeleton suit go in all this? Underneath the.
I'll wear the skeleton.
Okay,
suit.
you'll wear the skeleton suit.
So yeah, was this one of your main kind of like initial musical inspirations?
Yes, it was definitely a musical initiation. Yup. And it's its fault that I'm a rock musician now. So for those of you who don't like Lemon Knife, blame The Kids Are All Right.
All right, my number 7 is In the Loop.
Good choice.
A great, just kind of like dialogue-licious movie of like a bunch of British politicians, a bunch of American politicians, everyone squaring off with various characters and just
Great quotes.
Insulting them endlessly. Great quotes, including the quote from the title of our latest release, Difficult,
lemon, difficult.
Hey, just go in there, present the fit report. It'll be easy, lemon squeezy. No, it won't. It will be difficult, lemon difficult.
And an EP was born.
Yes. That probably would be what I would name, like, Lemon Knife starting over. That's a fun
difficult,
name.
difficult,
lemon,
maybe just shorten it to
difficult.
Lemon Difficult. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
I like that. Moving on, though. I keep stealing the wrong side. Number 7, The Princess Bride. I will never stop quoting The Princess Bride, for one thing. I use it in general conversation. I do not think it means what you think it means, just speaking to the average Joe.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really know what you're talking about, which is the sign of a very iconic film. And so this is a great combination of the fantasy, comedy, just irreverent.
Yeah, really good. I didn't see it until college because I think I had it conflated with the Princess Diaries in my head. So it's like, I don't want to watch a Princess Bride. Okay, some like love movie.
Yeah, no,
but
not at all.
That's a great movie.
You're sounding like the kid that is disgusted by the fact that it's a love story. But yeah, fantastic movie. Most likely kill you in the morning.
No big deal.
Yeah. Good night, sleep tight. Most likely kill you in the morning. What's your next movie?
My next movie is Pulp Fiction.
Good choice.
Classic movie by Quentin Tarantino, another of my faves you'll probably see again on Said Here list.
Said Here list?
Said Here list.
Is that Massachusetts slang?
Yup.
Said Here list.
The Said Here list. It's just like fantastic movie. I mean, it's like, it's well acclaimed, so not too much more to say about it, but it's great all the way around.
That kind of leads me to an honorable mention of my own. Tarantino tends to be a little bit too dark to get into my very favorite movies, but my honorable mention from the Tarantino catalog is Kill Bill, Volume 1. That is great movie, such a fun movie, well acted, well filmed. Yeah. So, speaking of not dark. Number 6 is Jesus Christ Superstar, which might be the exact opposite of Tarantino.
It's not the opposite of Pulp Fiction.
Okay, it's not the opposite of Pulp Fiction. Oh no, what if they made Pulp Fiction into a musical?
I wouldn't be surprised if they do that at some point.
There's a YouTube parody out there somewhere. But yeah, Jesus Christ Superstar, incredibly campy. I think some of the camera angles were intentionally created to the zooming in on Judas over and over again at the beginning, yes. Jesus knocking over a rack of postcards, but I just love the heck out of the musical and the movie. I've picked it apart since going into college. So.
Fantastic songs, too, and performances.
Yeah. Absolutely, all the way around.
All right, we got the second Scorsese on the list here for my number 5. It's Taxi Driver. Now, there is a dark movie for you. Just all about the main character's kind of, like, isolation. It kind of has... It's also so interesting about, like, oh, you know, like... Oh, this person ends up being a hero, but then, like, are they a hero? You know, like...
Yeah, a lot of questions raised.
If chance had gone differently, maybe they would have been remembered as, like, this awful person instead.
Mm-hmm. It's a very thought-provoking film.
It's probably the only one on my list that doesn't have, like, at least some element of comedy, because I think one of the things that I like a lot with both the Tarantino movies and the, like, Scorsese movies, they have a lot of violence, but I think almost all of them have, like, a lot of entertaining moments as well. Like, Pulp Fiction has some comedy.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Basically, anytime Samuel L. Jackson shows up.
Yes.
Or almost any time, maybe not every time. Anyway. Speaking of things without comedy, I feel like even this might have had a scene or two of comedy, but very, very
King
shortly.
Of comedy?
Here
Named
is
after Mia's favorite R.E.M. song.
Oh no. Make your money up. This is by far the darkest film on my list, I'm pretty sure. This is 1984, the version from 1984. There are two versions. There's a 1984 version and a 1956.
And the Apple version.
Yeah, that's definitely a movie. I did love that advertisement. But this features John Hurt as Winston, and he is phenomenal. And just everything about the movie captures the book so well that I can't help but list it up there, even if it is just kind of a derivative of something else. It's brilliantly done, captures that Orwellian spirit.
Is this the highest dystopia on your list? I know
yes, in fact...
Maybe you love dystopian books
I love
more
dystopian
than
books
movies.
more than dystopian movies. Yeah, in fact, I think this might be the only dystopian movie on my list. You're gonna go right back to weird, irreverent, comedic things.
Fair enough.
We're just taking a break with 1984 version.
All right, following Mia's Coen brothers earlier, I've got The Big Lebowski as my number 4. And this is
Good
just
choice.
Fantastic movie. The dude is great.
Of
Walter
course.
is hilarious. The
Market
kind
Zero.
of surreal, weird sequences. So many great quotable lines. Just fantastic
The
movie.
dream sequence, never forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, only one of their movies that made my list, but great directors.
Close to my heart, of course, because I remember my old keyboardist friend Kyle. he was talking to me about how much he loved The Big Lebowski, and he's like, "That guy's me." He's got the hair, he's got the attitude. It's like, yeah, I see it, Kyle. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I told you we were moving back off the dark track. Here's Shrek as number 4. So even more so than Finding Nemo, I will go back to this movie and over again notice something new that I didn't notice the other times I watched it. The sequels were all, not all, but like definitely went downhill. But I love the heck out of Shrek as an adult and as a kid. The original is definitely my favorite. I do like Shrek 2 though, with Puss in Boots. So just great stuff for every member of the family.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I remember watching that like on a battleship as a kid.
On a battleship?
A battleship, yeah. We were doing like a Cub Scout like sleepover on a battleship.
Oh,
so
yeah.
at some point in the evening, they did like a movie screening. So I think the ship actually had a movie theater built in, which I guess makes sense to like entertain the sailors.
I was see when you first said that, I was picturing like the battleship game board, and it got projected onto the game board.
Or even projected onto the wall of the battleship, and you like sit near the harbor.
Yeah.
There's a product idea.
Let me think on that while you say your next movie.
All right, my next movie is Goodfellas, the third Martin Scorsese movie on here, and I think
great director.
This movie is kind of like the king of the scene, because like there's not like the overall plot of it is not really a big deal. Like, I don't know if there's really, I'm sure there's like some themes about society or America or something, but there's not like really that much of a deep point in it. It's mostly just kind of like a story told through like a collection of like scenes that all like on their own are like phenomenal. Like, there's so many iconic scenes. There's like his monologue at the beginning.
There's Layla.
There's Layla.
There's I amuse you.
There's I amuse clown. I amuse you.
There you go.
There's like them going down and sit with Martin Scorsese's mother as they have a body in their trunk. There's the helicopter.
Oh yes, the helicopter. And Harry Nilsson every time the helicopter comes in. Great use of soundtrack.
Yeah.
Same with Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, absolutely, and even more so with my number 2.
Oh.
All right, what is Mia's number 3?
Number 3, this is the one I first saw most recently. Most of these came in...
Oh, okay, I got it.
Most of these were like, I saw these when I was quite young or a long time ago, and they kind of stuck around. This one, I think I probably saw it once and don't remember, and then saw it, I think, like, just a couple of years ago. It's A Wonderful Life is my number 3. It is... You know, I kept having it recommended to me as a Christmas movie, and it's just kind of now my favorite Christmas movie. And for the time, it really goes deep into a lot of different themes that, you know, really a lot of other movies of the time were afraid to explore. You know, alongside being charming and, you know, having the guardian angels and the bells ringing, you know, it's very much, you know, kind of a dark movie. He's in poverty or about to be in poverty. He's considering suicide, trying to figure out what to do. But it's, you know, certainly a very bright film overall. But, you know, if Jimmy Stewart drew on his war experience to play the role, you know there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
So, phenomenal film.
Yeah, I'd probably have to watch it again at some point as an adult.
Watch it in black and white.
It's in color?
There was a color version released. Don't watch the color version. Watch the black and white version.
Will do.
Very important.
Alright, my number 2 has kind of gotten overshadowed because there are a lot of people in it that are horrible. Can you guess it?
No.
Alright, it is Baby Driver. And this is like one of the best things of use of soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's just these incredible choreographed like action sequences to various like random songs.
Great soundtrack on its own too.
Great soundtrack on its own, just great selection of songs, and all just like synced up perfectly with this thing, and then just great comedic writing too. Just a super entertaining movie and
wonderfully
great
done.
Performances.
Too bad about the people.
Yeah. But definitely watch it if you could ignore Kevin Spacey. I think the lead might also have something going on. I don't know, or it might have a similar name to someone who does. So I don't want to say that.
Yeah, I think we both tend to separate the art from the artist a lot more than many people.
Kevin Spacey is pretty good in the movie, so hopefully
he's a good actor. It's too bad.
And watch it.
But anyway, leaving off on that cheerful note.
Yep.
Anyway, number 2 is Spinal Tap.
Oh, I should have put this on my list.
This is Spinal Tap. What a great movie. And if you are a rock musician, it is a must-watch of any stage in the game. You just have to watch it and see yourself reflected in too many moments that this entirely fictional band.
All right, that's my number 2. Slide everything else down one.
All right, so what just left the list? What was number 10?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry, number 10. We don't even
Birdemic.
get to it. Sorry, Birdemic. That's fine. Yeah. But yeah, also endlessly quotable. Also quote it to people who don't know what I'm talking about this time.
Yes,
Princess Bride, you'll probably know what I'm referring to.
Like great music, honestly, or like perfect like pastiches of other genres.
Honestly, the songs are genuinely good.
I still have Give Me Some Money on my phone.
I think you still have Stonehenge.
I still have Stonehenge.
There's a lot of good ones.
Long before dawn of history.
And that was the first thing I saw Michael McKean in, which is a real mind screw when you go on and watch.
From Chuck,
when you go on and watch Better Call Saul later in life. All right, what's John's number 1? I think I might know it. I'm not gonna say it.
It's Reservoir Dogs.
Ah, I got it right.
Yes, the other Tarantino on my list.
Bad Dogs.
Just, I think, where this comes out of Pulp Fiction is just it's so like concise and like vicious of a movie. Like it's 90 minutes. It gets right to the point. It's like this incredibly dark, like incredibly sad ending, but it still manages to have a lot of like moments of comedy in it. There's
a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's super dark. It's super like the characters are fleshed out. It's also just great writing, just fantastic.
It's very yin and yang, isn't it? It's very dark and light at the same time.
Yeah,
like simultaneously.
Probably a lot of the movies on my list.
So yeah, John, you have a lot of dark films on your list. Dark, serious, incredibly well made.
I have a lot. They all at least have comedy in them. I don't tend to like movies where it's like bleak suffering. Like I think the only thing like that on my list would be like Taxi Driver.
But I mean, just cinematic masterpieces most of the time. And Mia's number one is Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
It's a masterpiece.
I'm just a very different kind of masterpiece. You're over here like Reservoir Dogs, Tarantino. I'm like Monty Python, the Holy Grail. I do. This is the most cliched one to like, and I love all the Python films. They probably all could have made the top 10 list, but I wanted to stick to a bunch of different sorts of. I wanted to leave off like Life of Brian is probably my second favorite, like kind of neck and neck with it. But Holy Grail is the movie I can quote back to front. I love
What's the fourth line?
Oh boy. Well, now you're gonna. I mean, everything in this movie, from the opening credits to like the very last scenes you see. Not gonna spoil what happens to King Arthur on the Round Table in this version of the King Arthur's Tales, but it's not what you'd expect. It involves the cameraman. And I just love the Pythons to bits and pieces, so I couldn't not completely point this out as a great movie and my favorite movie.
So we had no overlap then.
No overlap
That's
whatsoever.
impressive.
And
yet we have similar tastes.
Yeah,
in
we
movies,
have
I
that
think.
respect for each other of the other's movies, I think, but like it's very.
Well, I guess now Spinal Tap. I just completely
Yeah.
forgot about that movie.
Well, okay, number 2, everything else, Birdemic.
Birdemic. You can fly off with your awkward stilted wings. Just to avoid gas stations.